All right, here's the vocal warm-up I do. I don't know if it's correct or healthy even, but this is what I do right now. First thing I do is breathe in. I'm gonna write with this video what it is down below so you can follow along. But essentially 3 minutes of breathing followed by some scales starting in the middle of your range or the low middle of your range, slowly massaging the voice to open it up using ohms and vowels, pushing down then to the bottom of the voice to really just try to open up your mouth and get a little bit of mask resonance through the nose, and then doing scales to warm up the lips, tongue, and then consonants, and then finally some sirens to smooth out areas of the voice that need smoothing. So here we go, 3 minutes of breathing. The patterns of in and out are down below or included in this email. I use a metronome on my phone to do this, and then a keyboard on my phone sometimes. Right now I have a keyboard set up here. Here we go, 60 BPM a second. Skipped one. Let me go back to this. Skip the ooh. Usually if I skip one, I'll do the whole thing again. It's not a big loss. One time. Feeling how my throat feels. Going down to the nasal sound to push mask resonance combined with wide opening. Focus mainly on wide opening while pushing the volume up and going deeper into the voice. That's something I've struggled with, is getting high volume when I'm singing low, and that's why I'm doing this. Could still be useful to push to the bottom of your vocal range. As a daily habit that strengthens the muscles that pull out to make your vocal cords wider. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Nya 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 nya. Alright, that sounds and feels like the bottom of my range right now. Sometimes I get lower depending on when I'm doing this. Usually in early morning it feels like it's easier to push down lower. Now we're gonna start buzzing lips and trilling the tongue. If you can roll your R's, you know how to trill your tongue. If you can't trill your tongue, just keep buzzing your lips. Ideally, just the consonants will warm up your tongue. Alright, here we go. I go up a fifth from where we just were. I do minor scales on the way up, do a full set of scales, all of them, and I do major scales on the way down with actual consonants. But right now on the way up, it's all buzzing. Sorry, let me start that one more time. If you played any horns, you know how to do this. Trill time. Just alternating. Buzz and trill. Should be getting blood flow to your tongue. And cheek muscles, which are all involved in making good sound, singing as I understand it. Sorry about that, one more time. Last one, trill. Sometimes I will keep pushing it higher. You get the idea. If you want to do more, keep going up. You can do that by doing other scales. You can do that by pushing the same scale higher. So you could go. So I noticed, so you could go up one note, you could go up, add as many notes as you want, or you could just keep doing more scales. I noticed right there my buzzing stopped for a second, and that's another reason that buzzing is helpful. In addition to get your blood moving in your cheeks and lips, it also indicates whether you're using enough airflow. And if you stop using enough airflow, the buzzing will stop. I don't think that it's always healthy to use a ton of airflow. I don't think that you necessarily need to be using the same amount of airflow as we're using in this warm-up all the time while you're singing. That might not even be healthy. Please check with your own singing professional. This is just what I'm doing right now. Please, if you have any advice or think I should be doing something differently or teaching anything differently, tell me, please. But from what I understand, if you can control your air, that's better for your singing. And if you can push enough air to keep your lips vibrating, you know you're using enough air. You're digging down into your diaphragm and stomach and deep lungs, and you're pushing rather than maybe using your throat, which is a way to sing without using a lot of air. You can you know what I mean? I can reach high notes, but I'm not like pushing a lot of air. Now, you don't want to push too much air when you're doing high notes because the folds are, from what I hear, very tight, and slamming air through them is not necessarily good for them. So there's a balance that you need to get to. But insofar as I have a habit of using less air, what I've been doing is let me actually use a little bit excess air. All right. Next phrase, going down, I'm going to use, starting, for some reason I start on L. I like where it, la, I like how it starts kind of easy and nice. La, and then ma, and I do one consonant with a bunch of different vowels. La, le, li, lo, lu, la, le, li, lo, lu, la, le, li, lo, lu. And cycle through the alphabet, and I'll show you what I do when I get to when I run out of scales for the amount of letters that I want to use. Start doing a little bit of arpeggios before I do my sirens. Alright, here we go. This is scales with consonants going down, going through the alphabet starting on L, and using all of your vowels. Major scales this time. La, le, li, lo, lu, la, le, li, lo, lu, la, le, li, lo, lu, la, le. Remembering to use enough air, remembering that, yeah, let's just do it. Ma, me, mi, mo, mu, ma, me, mi, mo, mu, ma, me, mi, mo, mu, ma, me. I might be using too much air to do this because I'm running out of breath before I get to the end, so we'll see. Na, na, ne, ni, no, no, na, ne, ni, no, no, na, ne, ni, no, no, na, ne. Ba, baby, bo, boo, ba, baby, bo, boo, ba, baby, bo, boo, ba, baby. I noticed I was slouching a little bit on my posture, and connected to that, but perhaps not using quite enough openness. I was a little constricted, so opening up now more consciously my posture and opening my mouth and throat a little bit more. I think will help me get more of a sound that I want. And I have more of a trouble with that on high notes. So I might want to check in with that if I'm like, oh, I'm doing that on the higher scales, but not on the lower scales. Spend a little more time being conscious on the higher scales. Let me go back to them after we've gone through this full warm-up. For right now, let's press on. I do Q as a K sound. I could do C or K later, but I'm just choose the first one and get that out of the way. K, ka, ka. Might not be the best. Yeah. Anyways, here we go. Q. Ka ke ki koku, ka ke ki koku, ka ke ki koku, ka ke. I got more volume when I was aware of being open and in my posture and in my throat and mouth, which I want to work on. Ra re re ro ru ra re re ro ru ra re re ro ru ra re. Sa se si so su sa se si so su sa se si so su sa se. Ta te ti to tu ta te ti to tu ta te ti to tu ta te. Va ve vivo vu va ve vivo vu va ve vivo vu va ve. Wa wei we wo woo wa wei we wo woo wa wei we wo woo wa wei. Funky vibrato. Wah. Might want to check in with the pitch before I start singing, because I want to make sure that I'm with the keyboard. Za za ze zi zo zu za ze zi zo zu za ze zi zo zu za ze. Ba baby bo boo ba baby bo boo ba baby bo boo ba baby. Alright, I'm back at my starting point, but I still have like maybe 5 consonants to go, and I want to go through all of my consonants. So what I start doing now usually is arpeggios and making sure I can make leaps, so that's not just whole step, half step stuff, but I can make larger leaps, thirds, and maybe someday even fourths. But right now I'm focusing on thirds with my arpeggios. So that means outlining a scale basically on the way up. And I'll do the simple version today. Sometimes I'll start with this. Or I can go up a little higher if I want. There's another way to do it where you play all the extensions of the chord. So you play through the 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 11, 9, 7, 5, 3, 1. And that I had to think about and work through, and I didn't do it with the piano. I actually was proud of myself that I did it with my head. But you want to, maybe if you're not familiar with music theory or used to hearing what scale number a tone is, yeah, do it with a piano. Like I said, I have a keyboard app on here. I often just use this when I'm out and about. I don't need these fancy pianos to do this. I can download a free keyboard app, which I did, and a free metronome app, Pro Metronome, which is really awesome. My favorite one. I haven't tried that many, but it's a great one. And this keyboard app is called, what is this called? Perfect Piano. That's the one I use. Alright, here we go. Arpeggio time. Simple version, major scale. We'll go up all the way to the 2nd, 5th of the scale. Da dee day do da, de, do, de. I don't quite get all the vowels right here, but da, de, de, do, do, da, de, de, do, 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 do. All right, G, F. Fa, fe, fi, fo, fu, fa, fe, fi, fo, fu, fi. G. Ga, ge, gi, go, gu, ga, ge, gi, go, gu, gi. H. Ha, hey, he, ho, hu, ha, hey, ho, he, ho, he. Sometimes I fudge the vowels a little bit, but you get the idea. Ja, J, G, Jo, Ju, Ja, J, Jo, G, Jo, G, Ju. And then I already did K sound with the Q earlier, so we skipped C and K. And that's pretty much it. And then I'll do a little siren. So I've heard it helps to stand up for these. You can kind of limit your constricting when you go up by dropping down with your knees a little bit. So I learned this from Dr. Dan's Voice Essentials, great vocal coach, very technical and awesome, but now I heard a lot of gaps in there, a lot of like jumps and cracks and stuff like that, so I want to do it a couple more times, maybe do one starting from the top later, but here we go. Pretty good, pretty good. You hear it gets. I've noticed this every time that I do this. By the second or third time, like I've cleared up most of the little gaps in my voice, most of the little spaces where you go, you know. So this is a really helpful one, and I just started integrating this a little more into my practice routine, my warm-up routine rather. Not to be confused with the practice routine. Don't just do this and think, oh, I practiced singing today, great for me. No, you need to actually sing as well. All right, here we go. Last, up, and down. Here we go. A lot of cracks on the way up, not too many on the way down. Let's try it again on the way up. That was better, only one on the way up. All right, now I'll go down. All right, that concludes the warm-up that I've been doing. Tell me if you think it's cool, tell me if it's helpful, tell me if it's not, and you think I should be doing something different. I would appreciate that. Good luck out there, fellow vocalists, fellow vocal students. Check out Dr. Dan's Voice Essentials, Justin Stoney's New York Vocal Coaching. There's another guy, I'm forgetting his name right now. Last name starts with an A, another great vocal coach. I've found a couple great ones, so I'll link whatever I can in the bio. All right, peace, y'all.